All right, hello and welcome to VOP News Update. I'm Moses Humphrey. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has suspended its nationwide protest, earlier scheduled to commence today, August 9th. The federal government representatives had met with the doctors yesterday over their ongoing strike action and the planned protest. NAD President Emeka Orji had stated that the outcome of the meeting will determine if the protest will go on. After the meeting, Orji disclosed that the protest has been suspended and will be reviewed again in 72 hours. The association took the decision after a meeting with the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and other principal officers of the upper legislative chamber. About 35 ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government have failed to appear before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating alleged employment racketeering. Following Monday's drama during the investigative hearing, in which a former desk officer at the Federal Character Commission (FCC), Haruna Kolo, confessed to have collected over $75 million. I beg your pardon? 75 million naira. The 75 million naira were bribes he collected from job seekers on behalf of the FCC. On behalf of the FCC chairman, Farida Dankala, the representatives of accused MDAs were expected at the investigative hearing yesterday to give their account. But at the resumed hearing yesterday, the chairman of the ad hoc committee probing the alleged job racketeering and gross mismanagement of the integrated payroll and personal information system, Yusuf Gadi, accused the MDAs of lacking respect for constituted authority. The lawmaker read the Riot Act to some of the agencies earlier and told them to provide staff members to serve as desk officers in the committee for the timely processing of information. Recall that Gadgi had earlier urged the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Budget Office, IPPIS, and the FCC to provide desk officers to avail the committee of needed information. Following the failure to provide the desk officers, Gagdi ordered that directors from the agencies must be available to provide the information needed instead of the desk officers. The four agencies that appeared before the committee were the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the National Teachers Institute, the National Commission for Colleges of Education, and the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, amongst others. The organized labor yesterday rejected the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, as the head of the federal government team that will negotiate on the subsidy removal palliatives. The national president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, made this known when the leadership of the labor unions visited the Senate. According to him, the chief of staff has been too busy to call for a meeting, adding that President Bola Tinubu's Wage Award Committee has yet to sit almost 2 months after the fuel subsidy removal. The NLC president, while speaking during the meeting with Senate leadership, lamented the plight of Nigerians as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. He said the government had yet to put structures on the ground to reduce the effects in the country. He told the lawmakers that while labor leaders were still deliberating on 535 naira per litre of fuel, and court had ruled for the status quo to remain, the government suddenly decided to increase the fuel to 620 naira per litre. Similarly, his colleague, the Trade Union Congress President, Festus Osifo, lamented the snail speed with which the federal government was treating the issue of the palliative. Similarly, after the closed-door session, the TUC President, Osifo, noted that the Senate leadership had assured them of meeting with the President and getting problems solved in a few days' time. In his response, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, appreciated the organized labor for their patience and understanding to assist the government. The senior pastor of Fountain of Life Church, Pastor Taiwo Odukoya, is dead. His demise was confirmed through the official Facebook page of the church. The church disclosed that the cleric died on Monday, August 7, in the United States of America. In business now, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has said, due to a harsh economic environment, the value of manufacturing production has decreased. MAN stated that it decreased from 7.39 trillion naira in 2021 to 6.67 trillion naira in 2022, indicating a decline of 720 billion naira. The chairman of MAN, Apapa branch, Frank Onyebo, disclosed this during the annual general meeting of the branch. Onyebo said 2022 was mostly characterized by a harsh operating environment, themed by record-high inflationary pressure, high interest rate, multiple taxation, high energy costs, forex illiquidity, shortage of raw materials, among others. He added that supply shortages, surging material prices, and difficulty in hiring qualified staff stalled the growth of the manufacturing sector. Speaking further, Onyebu noted that many manufacturers exited Nigeria to neighboring countries in 2022 due to the harsh operating environment. He added that more were planning to leave, while others were hanging on by a thread, hoping for the new administration to turn things around. In the foreign scene, Pakistan's Election Commission has ruled yesterday that former Prime Minister Imran Khan cannot hold any public office for 5 years after being convicted and jailed on corruption charges. The commission announced the disqualification hours after Khan appealed his conviction in a high court in Islamabad. A hearing is scheduled for Wednesday. The police arrested Khan on Saturday, minutes after a federal court convicted him of corrupt practices and sentenced him to 3 years for allegedly concealing earnings from the sales of state gifts he acquired while in power from 2018 to 2022. Well, yesterday's order by the Election Commission of Pakistan cited the court's verdict and relevant electoral laws for declaring Khan ineligible to hold public office. In contrary, Khan maintains that he did not violate any law and accuses the powerful military and incumbent Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif of being behind the politically motivated graft charges to keep him from contesting elections slated for later this year. Sharif and the military deny the charges. And that's the news update on VOP TV. We'd like for you to engage us on social media. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. And on other social media channels, we are at VOP TV Live. I'm Moses Humphrey. Good morning.